Okay. What's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Saturday game day edition of Morning Scone, presented by Brock, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, Parish Construction and Roofing. Need North Beach, go to Brock. You need a roof, you call Parish. Unique Physique, uniquephysique.com. Restored Motions, restoredmotions.com. Go this way. You want to come say hi? Nope. He gone. All right, y'all. Happy game day. How about it, y'all? The final regular season game day for 2024. We wait and we long and we pine and we debate. We fill ourselves with confidence, replace it with doubt, replace it again with confidence. We trash talk, we agonize, we celebrate, we overjoy, and in a blink, it's gone. Last regular season game for 2024. After this, it's just whatever bowl game LSU is going to go to, and then we begin our 8-month-long pining, 9-month-long pining. We fill the space with things that help, but aren't quite the same. So enjoy it. Your last one for 9 months. Go this way. Except for the bowl game. But let's be real. No one really cares. Go this way. Okay. Let's say some good morning, y'all. LSU in Oklahoma. I picked it LSU 27-17. Just not a believer in Oklahoma's offense at all. Alabama helped them with 3 turnovers last week. LSU, I think, found some stable footing last week. I do think Oklahoma's defensive front 7 is very good. It's going to be very challenging for LSU to run the ball. But I do believe that if LSU's pass protection holds up, that is a major advantage for LSU throwing the ball. I do think this looks a lot like the Florida game, where they're pretty good in the front 7 and can maybe cause some problems for you there. But if you can grip and rip it, there's plays to be had. And, of course, LSU put up 400 yards and possessed the ball for 42 minutes. They just didn't finish drives. I mean, it's very comparable to the Florida game, matchup-wise. So let's see how it goes. Lee Sterling, by the way, picked LSU 31-21. So he had LSU by 10. His point was there's a lot of value. You have an inflated line because of LSU's poor performance recently and Oklahoma beating Bama last year. So, you look at this as a 10-point line or whatever, or I'm sorry, 6-point line, whatever it is. Yeah, it's 6. So you saw a lot of value with LSU at 6. Didn't have Phil Steele yesterday, so I don't know Phil's picks. Let's see. All right. Seeing if Jimmy's got his all his guys' college picks. Go this way. All right, let's say some good morning, y'all. LSU, Oklahoma today. How about Georgia last night winning in 8 overtimes? Although a little bit of an asterisk there because after you get through 2 overtimes, it just becomes 2-point conversion. So it's like, go this way. So it's what it is. I did make a money line play on Georgia at halftime when they were down 17-0. So that was nice to cash that ticket. Did it by the hardest. But it would have been fascinating what would have happened had Georgia lost that game because then as a 3-loss team, really their only path to the playoff would have been winning the SEC championship game. And, of course, Georgia will play the winner of Texas A&M tonight. I do think Texas wins that game. all the emotion on A&M side. I just think Texas is way better, and so I do think ultimately they will prevail. A&M got clipped last week. Look ahead spot was last week on the road at Auburn. They got clipped. I think A&M will be locked in and all that stuff. The other thing I do worry about, or we're not worried about, wonder about, is like, do these players, the Texas and Texas A&M players, do these players actually get the rivalry? I mean, they haven't played that game in 13 years. I mean, the guys on the team right now were like 5 to 9 years old the last time this game was played. Like, they have no awareness at all of the animosity of this rivalry. So while I think it means a lot for the fans, I wonder if it actually means as much for the players. I don't know. Like, you can try to hammer that into them throughout the week or throughout the season, but until they go experience it, do they really know it? I don't know. Brendan Huff, good morning. Toki Doki, Jason H, good morning, y'all. John, how's Drew? Are you happy to get your weekends back after tonight? John, yes, I am. It's a catch. I always explain to people it's a catch-22. I love football. I love football season. Go this way. I love all the interaction we get to do during football season. Our ratings are better. Our impressions are better. We make more money. Like, everything about football season is great. It is a lot of work. And when you get to the end, it's like I need the holidays. By the time the holidays come, I need the month of December where, from November, get a few days off for Thanksgiving. I always take like the week after Christmas to New Year's off as well. So I need that time by the time it gets here. So yes, I am. I'm sad to see football go for all the reasons we just said. But yes, I am. That part of it I am happy about. Let's see, to the semis for high school. Let's go and go Tigers. Good this way. Lovely. It's hard to believe it's already the penultimate game of the season. Well, I guess that's if you count the bowl games. I guess we can, but Joshua, good morning. Randolph, still recovering from watching Georgia game last night. It was intense, man. Especially considering I was holding a Georgia money line ticket and them needing to score twice in the final 5 minutes or whatever it was, and then the kid in whichever overtime it was, where the guy from Georgia dropped the ball in the back of the end zone after it was deflected. It was like so many times they could have won the game. Andy, never been a guy who blames the officials. Last night game was decided by the officials. No, it wasn't, Andy. We went to 8 overtimes. Stop it. How about this, Georgia Tech? Don't blow a 17-point lead. Go this way. Don't blow a 17-point lead. And by the way, how about the pass interference penalty they called against Georgia in the 7th, or was it the 8th overtime? Go this way. Which was completely bogus and gave Georgia Tech another shot at the 1-yard line, and Georgia stopped him. So don't give me the crap about the refs. Like, I'll never sit here and let someone say the refs stole the game. It's stupid. Go this way. Go this way. Go this way. Like, even the Nola no call. Hideous play. The Saints still got the ball first in overtime. Could have gone and ended the game. Breeze threw a pick. There was another play earlier in the game. It was a blatant face mask on the New Orleans Saints at the goal line that wasn't called. Would have given the Rams first and goal, and they score a touchdown. Their game's over. So bad calls happen. It's a 60-minute game, and then it's 8 overtimes. Don't say the ref stole that game. It's just whatever. Brad, do you think Gundy could get fired? Bro, you go winless in conference, and you get blown out 52-0 by Colorado. I mean, might be time. I don't know what his contract is, though. Seth, good morning. Bubba. Andy, good morning. Thomas, good morning from Rainy Lake Arenal, Costa Rica. 73 degrees. Go Tigers. Jingle Gate Day 7. Let's go. Unlike most schools, we could look forward to basketball and baseball. Yes, and I wouldn't say unlike most schools. A lot of schools look forward to basketball. Here, less so. With Kim and the women, yes. Good way. Go this way. I am personally optimistic about the men's team, and very excited about what they won last night, beat Northwestern State 73-55. I'll tell you this. If go to Swiss shirt with an arrow pointing to a pine bench. Pine bench. I don't get the part about the bench. One thing that's a little concerning about LSU basketball right now is this 4 times they found themselves down at halftime to an inferior opponent. They trailed yesterday 26-25 at half to Northwestern State. They blew them out in the second half. But they did the same thing to Alabama State, same thing against Charleston Southern, same thing against UCF. Like at some point, you got to come out in those first 20 minutes ready to play. And that's concerning right now for this team. But they rallied and won. Corey Chest was awesome last night. 5 blocks. Really good. Kelly Gross, Caleb, thought would have woke up to say Georgia is burning. Mark, will the weather affect crowd size tonight at Tiger Stadium? I don't know, Mark. It's supposed to be a beautiful day today. Like, I think the highs are around 60. It's going to be sunny and beautiful. Like, it's supposed to be a really nice day. So, I think we could, but if the game gets away and it starts getting colder, it starts temps into the 30s, maybe. But last game of the season, if it's competitive, yeah, man, I think LSU fans will be there. Saints Rams tomorrow. Looking forward to it. Lance, what does a win today do for us heading into the offseason? Loss heading into the offseason. I'm not so sure that the result of the game is going to matter tremendously, Lance. I'll tell you what is really significant, and I talked about this in today's Locked On episode if you want to go check it out. Yesterday was my prediction episode. This morning, Saturday morning, I talked about some recruiting stuff because DJ Pickett is back on LSU's campus today. So that's, again, 5-star, number 1 cornerback in the country out of Florida. Miami and Oregon have pushed really hard to flip him late. LSU is dead set on keeping him, and getting him on campus this weekend is significant. Remember, this is the last. So Sunday at midnight is when the dead period begins, meaning coaches can't have face-to-face contact with recruits anymore. And the early signing period's Wednesday. So LSU got Pickett on campus Friday to Sunday. So they got him on campus Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then he heads home. And then Sunday midnight, Go this way. Hey, come here. Come say hi to Dad, Show. Go this way. Hey, I want to tell you what's going to happen. Let's see. Wait up. He said, no. Wiggle away from me. Adrian Bailey, good morning. Media's blowing up Andrew Luck, acting like he's the first GM in college football. What's Andrew Luck doing? I saw him on game day. Like, I wasn't listening to it, but is he he's Stanford's GM. Let's see. Some person, y'all find a replacement for 100.3. So we are in negotiations with a group. We had preliminary conversations with like 4 or 5 potential partners. We kind of zeroed in on one, and we are in negotiations with them. Had a couple of meetings, and it's kind of just like, can we dot I's, cross T's, get the minutia of the deal worked out? And because there's a lot of moving parts involved, as you might see. But we're working on that. And I'd hate to give you a target date and not happen, but I'm confident we're going to be able to get the deal done and be back on in New Orleans and the Bayou region soon. Wendell, good morning. Ryan, I admit Georgia Tech got screwed with some bad calls. They had every opportunity over time to win before they choked. Yeah, I don't think Georgia Tech got screwed with bad calls. Like, you talk about the pass interference before the end of regulation, fine, close call. I would say that was more egregious than the PI they called on Georgia in the 8th overtime, which was absurd. It was a great play by the defender. Patrick Berglass, game day Saturday, Matt. Enjoyed Supper Club last night. Steak was amazing. Go Tigers. Love Supper Club, man. What steak did you have? John, good morning. How do you think Don McKinley is progressing? Really well. I mean, he got set back because he had a toe injury, as Brian Kelly kind of detailed, which really cost him the first month of the season. But even by Dom's own admission, like, he's a big dude that has to work on his technique. And so Bo Davis refining him is going to be significant. That's one of the things I think about and wonder with Jakeem Stewart too. I mean, think about it. Don McKinley was a 5-star number 1 player in Louisiana, and he's at about 15 snaps a game. And he played 4 years of high school football. You bring in Stewart, who reclassified, who only played 1 year of high school football, and technically next year should be a high school senior, is going to be playing in the SEC. You wonder, like, okay, how much of an immediate impact can he, like, long term? Yes, absolutely. How much of an immediate impact can he have in 2025? So that's where I go, like, you'd love to get Stewart, of course, but even if you do, you probably still need to go get like an immediate impact interior defensive lineman. Tim, good morning. Last home game, finally football in bourbon weather. Patrick, how about the game last night? If Kirby didn't hate points, it would have won. Tweeted it during the game. Kirby passed on a field goal from the 10, and then after the first touchdown went for 2, which didn't make a lick of sense because they were down 10. It was 17-6. They're down 11. Excuse me. A 2-point conversion makes it 9. It didn't make a lick of sense why. And ultimately, they would have been playing at the end of regulation to win the game instead of tie to force overtime. So, yeah, the moral of the story, take the points. Irfan Sayad Gamogan. LSU needs everyone to donate, especially our past athletes like Shaq and company. Step up in recruitment. Alex, wonder if they had a bonfire. It was banned. Yeah, they're not doing the bonfire anymore for Texas A&M. Near the end of that rivalry, I remember they had like a construction company come in and build it. Instead of after the tragedy in '99. For those who don't know, that one of the traditions with Texas A&M is A&M would do a bonfire. Well, in 1999, the bonfire structure collapsed while the students were building it, and students died. There's a memorial on the campus to those that died. But after that, it was several years. They brought back the bonfire, but they had like a construction company, like an architect, actually design it and build it. It was much safer. But they announced that they're not bringing back the bonfire tradition with the rivalry renewing. Rocky, good morning. Let's see, we'll be at the game tonight. First time since the Les Miles era. Wow. Weather may have me regretting it. Hopefully the Tigers can put it away early. Justin saw the stat line where UL ranking higher than LSU. I would say this bears no significance, but unsure since Vandy competed well last week. I don't know what stat line and what Louisville has to do with LSU, or I don't know. Competition matters. Brian Wynn, good morning. Jeremy Sagely, congrats on 2,500 episodes yesterday. Cheers, another 2,500. Thank you, man. We keep ticking off those milestones. Yeah, that was wild. 2,500 yesterday. Should kids wear thermal underwear for the game tonight if they're sitting up top in the wind? Mark, if you got family going to Tiger Stadium tonight, I would layer up significantly. Yes, thermals, layer up. Make sure you have some covering your head too. Ski cap, earmuffs, or something like that. Because the thing about Tiger Stadium is it creates a giant wind tunnel. Even if the air temperature is, like, there have been times that I've been in Tiger Stadium, like feeling like I was near frostbite, and you walk outside the stadium and it's very calm. But Tiger Stadium is a bowl, and so when the wind gets into it, the wind whips around Tiger Stadium. And then outside of Tiger Stadium, it can be relatively calm. So, prepare for the wind in the stands. Lewis, good morning, Matt. Should LSU be worried about Keelan Moses being at the Texas A&M game? No. Keelan actually is doing a podcast with us as well. Now, he recorded his first episode last week. It was Keelan, and then his older brother Dylan and his younger brother Emmanuel, who is a 2027 cornerback. So the three of them all sat together. And he's essentially going to have conversations with guys about the recruiting process, teammates, athletes, guys around the country stuff. So it's a good concept. It's called The Key to It All. Let me check. The tricky part is it takes some time for a podcast. So it's on YouTube. You can watch the episode. Sometimes it takes a while for it to populate on. I don't know why I don't see it on Apple yet. Like we upload via Spreaker. It's on Spreaker, but I don't see it on Apple or Spotify yet. Yeah, I don't see it on Spotify yet either. So it's on YouTube. First episode's up on YouTube, and it's on Spreaker, but it still hasn't populated yet on Apple or Spotify. I don't know why. Hey! Oh, now you're going to come see me, huh?
I want to take a backpack.
I know you want to take your backpack off, but I tried to tell you hi earlier. You just ran away from me. You hurt my feelings.
No, for backpack.
Do you want to say hi to Dad, Joe?
Sure.
Well, we're going to get dressed. And we're going to go for a ride in Daddy's car to ride elevators at Daddy's work.
Okay.
And then, you know what we're going to do later? We go to Mama's house. Because you know who's over there? Bimo. Anthony. And Maria. And Dominic. And Gianna and Lily. We get all the cousins together. We take a picture today with all the cousins. Can you say hi to that, Joe?
No, for Mom's house.
Then we'll go to Drew's house. And then later you go to Mimi's house.
With
Mommy. Do you have Christmas lights on your Jamie?
With Mommy.
Mom. Hey, can you say hi to Dad, Joe?
I got you.
I love you. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. There's a lot of snot. You want to stand up? Oh, Lord. The other two folks in the Scone house feeling a little bit. Some coughs and some snots and whatnot. Your boy, chugging strong. Hydrogen water, supplements, cold plunging, staying hydrated. The key. Smash the like button if you would. Subscribe to the channel. Facebook, like the page, share the post. Who do we root for? Texas A&M. I'm rooting for Texas. I want nothing good for Texas A&M. I don't want Texas A&M going to the. I don't want Texas A&M going to the SEC championship game. I'm going to watch the bowl games because I can't not watch football if it's on, especially if it's LSU. Yes, agreed. We'll watch football, but do you really get as intense for it? See, Austin, good morning. Jason, good morning. Alex, fix OT. It's like a fifth quarter. I agree. I hate when overtimes Medley Cosmetics, you are very rude to your child. You must be new here. Clearly new here. And if you roll up in here saying anything whatsoever negative about Drew or my relationship with Drew, that's a good way to get run and probably tarred and feathered. So check yourself if you're going to roll up here ever and say anything about me, my child, or my relationship with my child. You want to see me get mad? That's a good way to do it. Georgia got cheated with a fumble recovery after a catch in 3 steps. That's true, too. Abner Neal. Let's see. Is this Nussmeier's final game in Tiger Stadium? I think he'll be back for another year. Seth, 2019 A&M was packed. That was also Burrow's last game. That was a great team. Michael Cook, got to show the recruits Tiger Stadium magic tonight. It'd be great to see. First game I'm attending since 2018. Not leaving my seat across the score weather. Enjoy. Hopefully it's a great one tonight. Arkansas plays at Mizzou. Mizzou's field's covered in snow. I like Mizzou in that game anyway. That's a game that High five. Love you. Okay, let's see. Oh, Lord. Yeah, I hate the new man. They have the new iOS update. And let's see. Crop. Gotta figure all this stuff out. Okay. Sorry, y'all. My apologies. Jimmy sent me all of his Jimmy sent me this, which is his yellow legal pad, a picture of his legal pad for all of the plays for that is an awful lot. Okay, anyway. All right, let's refocus. My apologies, y'all. My apologies. Okay. Cortland, Georgia Tech blew it, and Georgia made the plays come back and win. Jeff McKithen, good morning. Is Kansas football in 24 good now due to leftovers from Les Miles? I don't think so, man. I think that's been admitted, and I think Lance Leipold's a pretty good coach. Jason wanted to ask, ever since the Underwood stuff, is there a way LSU could play Michigan in a bowl game? I'd love to beat the hell out of them. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of SEC and Big Ten ties in bowl games. As I think through it now, Jason, probably not, because you're talking about like Citrus Bowl, Rely Quest, where LSU's been the last 2 years, and those would be two of the higher placed games. And with Michigan being a 500 team, it's unlikely they get placed there. After, excuse me, after Oregon, Ohio State, Indiana, Penn State, probably all in the playoff. Those 4. Next up would be pulling up Big Ten standings, like maybe Minnesota. I think Minnesota finished 8-4. Let's see. Big Ten. Here we go. Oregon, Ohio State, Indiana, Penn State, Iowa. Oh, geez. Iowa 8-4, Illinois 8-3, Minnesota 7-5, Washington 6-5. God, you got a whole lot of bets after those first 4. Boy, is a massive drop off, huh? Iowa, Illinois, Minnesota, Washington, then Michigan, Southern Cal, Rutgers. Mommy. David, latest bowl opportunities for LSU. Yeah, remember bowl. So it's easy. The committee picks the playoff, which are the New Year's 6 games. After that, the highest rated SEC team not in the New Year's 6, I guess not in the playoff now. They go to the Citrus, and then after that, the league works with the TV partners and the bowl partners to place teams in bowl games where they feel like they'll get the best matchup and best attendance. So, my so if you look at the SEC, for example, let's assume Texas, Georgia, and Tennessee. If Texas wins tonight, Texas, Georgia, Tennessee all get in. After that, you'd have Ole Miss, some combination of Texas A&M, Ole Miss, South Carolina, Alabama, Missouri, all at like 9-3, assuming they all win today. And so then whoever's the highest ranked of those will go to the Citrus, and then you just start mixing and matching. My best guess, and again, I don't know anything about this. My best guess is they send LSU to the Texas Bowl. Unless if they send A&M there, if A&M loses tonight for proximity, but it's just all the LSU fans in Texas, in Houston, the alumni base, proximity to Baton Rouge, easy to travel, and you'd play a Big 12 team. Caleb, do you think we'll ever play Tulane in football again? Maybe. I think that. Look, Skip signed the deal that was the 10-year agreement, and LSU just needed to get out of that because financially it didn't make a lick of sense. That was a favor more so that Skip did for Tulane. It didn't make financial sense. And like if LSU wants to play Tulane in Baton Rouge, I'm sure they would, but LSU's not going to go play at Yulman. That's a 20,000 seat stadium. Remember, if you're going to go play a game like that, there has to be a financial benefit of playing it. So, like, you'll play the home and home with Clemson because you're going to get the windfall of the home game when they come here. Financially, you're going to get a payout to go play there, but it's not going to be as big as those neutral site games. But the benefit is when you get the home game with that team coming to Baton Rouge, you're going to get them. You're counting on a massive financial windfall. That just doesn't exist with Tulane. So go this way. So there's no way you would ever play them home and home. So they'd have to be willing to play one game in Baton Rouge. Go this way. And when those things are scheduled so far in advance, you'd be talking about the 2030s before you'd see that game. Let's see. Please smash the like button if you would. Subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. We appreciate y'all for being there with us as always. Shout out to Brock and Parrish. Need North Petest? You go to Brock. They also have Brock Therapy Service as well. Remember Brock PT. And of course, Parrish Construction and Roofing. Need a roof? Give us a shout. Parrishbuilt.com. Parrishbuilt.com. Unique Physique. They just introduced 3-month pricing. So if you pay for 3 months, instead of a month by month, if you pay for 3 months at a time, you save $100. So lowest prices, never any contracts, do the whole thing over telemed, and they'll ship your medicine anywhere in the country at Unique Physique, uniquephysique.com. Steve Miller, morning from the quaint Thomas Athletic Center in Ruston, Louisiana. La Tech versus Southern, 10:30. Then La Tech, Kennesaw State at 3. All right. You got a full day, man. Y'all going to make it back down here for I guess not. If you're watching the game at 3, watching football at 3, you're not going to catch the Tigers and the Sooners tonight. Floyd. Good deal. Got a 150 each for mine today. Milton, never screamed louder on my TV during a non-Saints game than I did the last 30 seconds of Bears-Lions. Bye-bye coaching career. Let's see. Michael Cook. Charlie Cavell. Do you get early access to the college football script? I mean, having A&M and UT play for a trip to the SEC championship. I agree with you about uniforms on X, and we got called Boomer. Had to laugh. Yeah. Whatever. I'm not interested in having the argument anymore. I've made my point. If you want to disassociate yourself with 100 years of branding, that's your choice. The best analogy that I thought of was like, think about if you franchised a McDonald's and you chose not to put the golden arches out front, like you're still selling Big Macs, same menu, just when people are driving down the street, they don't see the thing that's the most identifiable with your brand. Whatever. No big deal, right? I'm sure they'll still find their way in. These uniforms have been questioning if I want to watch LSU. Deadeye Jed, give me some LSU baseball. We're close, man. Bronco Nation. Scotty Mac, what's going on? I know why you're cheering for Texas. Scotty Mac, the reason I'm cheering for Texas is because I have no desire whatsoever to see Texas A&M ever make an SEC championship game. Ever. But yes, Scotty Mac and I do have a wager. He has poo-pooed the Longhorns. And I actually said before the season that I thought we would see Texas and Georgia play 3 times, regular season, SEC championship, and in the college football playoff. And looks like somebody's pretty close to being right. Let's see. Mark says I'm ready to see Hurley or Collins. Why? JD, nervous about OU. Good defense, not a great offense. You also said the same thing about Burrow and Daniels. Yeah, people did. Which I keep reminding them, but which is fine. I got an old tweet for some reason popped up in my mentions the other day. It was Jaden's first game at LSU, the Florida State game. And I tweeted, now y'all get it about Daniels, because I'd spent the whole offseason telling people, Jaden Daniels is going to start. Jaden Daniels is going to start. Jaden Daniels is going to start. They didn't bring him here to not start. Offensive line's a giant question, mobile quarterback, all that sort of stuff. And it must have been after a play where he made a great play with his feet or something like that. And I tweeted, now y'all get it about Daniels. And if you go look at the comments on it, it's just people just crapping on him. It's hilarious to think back now in hindsight. Kendall, not looking for names. Do you know any former Tiger players who've had or are currently having successful pro careers donate to NIL? Do you mean like have LSU alums given money to the collective, like baseball or football alums? Not that I know of. Philip, morning, Matt. I know the rev shares coming and collectives will be going away. Would there be an option for LSU to create a company that directly pays toward football, basketball, etc.? Go to that. I mean, Philip, it sounds like what you're asking is, would they be creating another collective? So, like, if you're talking about how people can donate, no. I mean, that's the point. Of the rev share. What'll be really interesting is, you said you think collectives will go away, and there's some thought like the NCAA wants them to go away, but there is some thought that maybe they don't, and they continue to exist independently and try to facilitate sort of true NIL deals, for whatever that's worth. And that's going to be the interesting part, right? Is how do, like, when NIL launched initially, you saw a lot of true market value NIL. But it didn't take long before places like Miami and others started forming collectives and starting fundraising, and then it went to pay for play, masked as NIL. And now revenue sharing is coming in, so it's the next pivot. So what's the reaction there? As long as there's rich people who are trying to get their team to win, there's going to be people looking for competitive advantages. So, it'll be interesting to see how that evolves. Do you believe Gus comes back? If so, will play be more as Burrow? Who do you think? I guess it'd be Nussmeier. I don't know what he's going to do. The thing I'll tell you is what I've continued to say is that I think the feeling is like his dad wants him to come back and play another year. I know I saw one of the national draft guys had Nuss as a day 3 pick. If that's the case, then should absolutely come back. And I do believe that just looking at history, that step from year 1 as a starter to year 2, especially your 4th year in the program to year 5, we've got enough examples of that to say, yeah, that matters. Give me that. Just saw Miami up to 10 NIL offer to DJ Pickett. Hope he doesn't dart off like Underwood. Miami and Oregon are pushing to the end. And LSU is going to do what they have to keep him. Of that much, I'm very confident. But if someone comes in and offers like Michigan did, what do you do? Mark, what uniform? They're wearing white helmets, purple jerseys, white pants. Senior day at Tiger Stadium, which senior will you miss the most? I don't know. Good senior class. Mark, target O-line, DB, running back in the portal, and DT. So, Mark, I'll tell you, they need interior defensive tackle, safety, and probably offensive line. But you missed one, which is receiver. They're going to go try to get an impact receiver.
What is that?
Baloo. JD, Matt, I apologize. I found myself rooting for Georgia. That's fine. I was rooting for Georgia because I made a money line play on Georgia at halftime. Let's see. Last year, didn't LSU have an NIL package for Jacoby Matthews? Any chance he comes to LSU since he sat out this season? I really have no idea. I mean, other than being asked about Jacoby Matthews here every now and again, I haven't heard anybody talk about him. I think, talking to some people around A&M, and again, I don't cover A&M, but talk to people I trust who do. It was one of those things where Elko came in. He had certain changes. Maybe Jacoby wasn't quick to reform or adapt to those changes. And so it got to the point where it was like, okay, well, you're just not going to be part of the program. So I don't know. I don't know what's there. We're going to get dressed and go to Dad's work, ride the elevator. Gregory, how about the Paris Bowl? Would love to see it someday. Stoned Muso. Wonderful to see you. St. Terrace, good morning. Is there a way LSU can schedule week 0 game against Southwest Louisiana Baptist A&M University? Probably not. But I would very much endorse it before you go to Clemson next year. LSU Tulane week 0 in the Superdome, not going to happen. Back home for the game tonight, headed to Whiskey and Wine. Okay, come on. You have to introduce yourself as Stoned Moose. We'll be there. What can we expect to see from Oklahoma's offense? I don't know, man. Jackson Arnold hasn't been very good throwing the ball. Oklahoma's without their top 6 pass catchers. Their offensive line has been injured all season. That's just not a very good offense. I think from Oklahoma's perspective, they'd rather play a lower scoring defensive game, and I think LSU would like to spread it out, grip it, rip it, and try to make Oklahoma keep pace. Blue. Does Parrish do exterior home construction? Yes, and yes, John. What specifically are you needing done? We'd love to help you out, man. So kind of depends what you're looking for, but yes, we do offer financing. So we'd love to help you out. You can go to parishbuilt.com, and you can fill out the form on the homepage, and we'll have someone in touch with you prompt. So the website's the easiest way to do it over at Parrish, because you go to the website, you fill out the form on the homepage, you're immediately ingested into our system. So now we have a record of you, and we will contact you. I'm dumbfounded why Georgia Tech went to a 3-man soft zone up 14. They're trying not to give up the deep. I mean, they're trying not to give up the deep ball. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. And it's why you do. That's why you play the zone. You're trying not to. It's like, I'll give up 6 yards, 8 yards at a time. What I can't give up is the 60-yard touchdown in one play, because that's their fastest way back in it. Oh, gee, I love it, Brennan. That's so good. Gary, good morning. Let's see. Randall, I don't dislike Kelly. Wondered if Woodward had the conversation with boosters before they gave Kelly a decade-long contract. Well, of course they did. Who do you think paid for it? Like, who do you think agreed to pay for that contract? How do you think they got $17 million to buy out Ogeron and the money to get Brian Kelly? Like, Scott Woodward had to go raise that money. Of course they knew. Kirk, protest the purple. Love it. All right, y'all. I might have to get going because it's 10:30, and I got to get Drew over to my work, and games kick off at 11, and I still have to get Jimmy's auto locks up because Hunt's driving back from Shreveport, so he's no help to me right now on the website. So I'm going to have to get going here. Scott asked for an update on New Orleans. So, Scott, I shared this update a little bit ago. We had about 4 or 5 preliminary conversations with a preliminary conversation about 4 or 5 different groups. And we're in conversations now, pretty deep conversations with a potential affiliate that I think is going to work. It is not 1061. And I think it's going to be somebody that's actually, it's better. Like it's a better option. So we're working on it, and we're getting there. So stay tuned. Hope to have an update soon. Nick, why couldn't we play Tulane on rivalry weekend? So for a lot of reasons. Number one, it's not really a rivalry. Number two, if you're going to play that, you'd have to play home and home. LSU will never play at Ullman. Financially, it would be a total waste to go play a game in the 20,000 seat stadium. Yeah, that's mostly it. Okay. I gotta go. Thanks so much for watching. Y'all have a great day. Whiskey and wine as soon as the game goes final. T-Bob and I'll be at Don Juan. And remember, go check out Locked on LSU. I got tons of good episodes from this week. If you missed any of it, you get my preview and prediction episode. I did a crossover episode with Locked on Sooners. The episode up today is some recruiting tidbits with DJ Pickett on campus today. Also recap the basketball win last night. I did what I think is a really good evergreen episode explaining LSU's NIL portal strategy, giving you as much detail and information as possible. So please go check that out if you can. Locked on LSU on your favorite podcast app or on YouTube. Have a great day.